Hey everyone, hope you're all doing great. So today's company is none other than Grofers. You must have heard its name at least once. That's the kind of popularity this startup has right now. And today's segment is special, so we'll be getting to know quite a few insights about the company and the recruitment process and much more.
Also, the person is from a recruitment team, so you will be getting more details about the recruitment process. Before going on to the recruitment process, you can check the Telegram channel. The link will be in the description box below. Please subscribe to that channel. You will get notifications of every video, our vlogs, our placement interview series, the job updates on that channel first. And also there is a placement form attached. If anyone is interested to give interview experiences on our channel, they can fill up the form and we will call them for our next interview experience. So the profile offered by Grofers is SDE1, Software Development Engineering 1. The CTC is best in industry. Eligibility criteria is you should be having 60% or 6 CGPA above in 10th and 12th. Your pursuing degree should be having 60 degree or 6.0 CGPA or above. Coming to the online test consists of 2 DSA questions and basic aptitude. Basic aptitudes are just quick maths, and the DSA questions are the programming ones. Coming to the interview rounds, the interview rounds depend on the performance that you do in your sequential rounds. The details are here. Round one consists of resume discussion plus 1 to 2 DSA questions, lasted for around 1 hour to 30 minutes. Round two was also a resume discussion plus system design, and round three also consisted of resume discussion along with DevOps, deep dive in technology that you have been used, that is mentioned in your resume. Coming to the final round, that is HR round, and we will be discussing this whole process in detail with our guest today.
Hi guys, today we have with us Prithviraj, who has cracked the off-campus recruitment process for Grofers for the job role of SDE1. Hello Prithvi, welcome to our channel.
Hey guys. Hi. How are you? So shall I give my introduction?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. Hey guys. So I'm Prithviraj Murthy. So I just graduated from MIT WPU Pune, and I got a job offer at Grofers, and I started my job about a month ago. But I joined there as an intern back in December 2020, so about 7 months ago. And yeah, that's the initial introduction.
So let's move to the recruitment process then. We will start with the aptitude round, and how did you apply for Grofers?
Right. Yeah. So I applied to Grofers through an online job portal, Angel List. I applied for a role for SD2 actually at that point. And apparently I knew I wouldn't be selected for that role, but I at least thought my resume will be out to the recruiters at Grofers. And so I applied for that position. I got rejected for it a couple of weeks later, but then I was contacted by the same recruiter for a fresher position, for an internship position. And he said that based on my performance and everything, I'll be offered a full-time offer, but towards anywhere between mid to the end of the internship. So yeah, I got my internship, I cracked the interviews, and sometime in the month of May, June, I received my full-time offer letter.
So for you, there were no aptitude or nothing, directly the resume.
Right. So for me, I was an off-campus student. So apparently they didn't have an aptitude online assessment round for me. I don't know exactly why, but I guess it's up to them. Like if it's mostly an off-campus interview, they don't tend to keep online rounds. So I didn't have an online round, but usually for on-campus recruitment process, students do appear for an online assessment, something like on HackerRank. And the online assessment usually has one or maybe two data structure algorithm questions and some basic aptitude questions.
And how long was your internship for?
Internship was, it started on 28th December 2020, and it was till the end of June. My offer letter, the full-time offer was for 2nd of August. So I got my internship extended for another month. So about 7 months.
So you basically continued your internship and then,
yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I just kind of added another extra month to it. Yeah.
So let's move to the interview rounds then. So you can take one by one and tell us about the interview rounds.
Sure. So, right. So basically, when you're an on-campus student, you have your online assessment in rounds, and if you clear those, you have your on-site interviews, or by on-site I mean directly with an interviewer, face-to-face on a video call. Okay. So the first round usually consists of some data structure algorithm based problem solving.
So, guys, if you also want to get a good hold on computer science concepts and get placed in a reputed company like Prithvi, we have an amazing solution for you all, that is Coding Ninjas. For those of you who don't know, it is one of the largest coding education company and offers courses that are from basic to advanced level in programming.
So let's quickly go through a few of the courses that Coding Ninjas is offering. So the courses includes competitive programming, DSA, web development, Android development. So if you are a fresher and just started coding and you are in first or second year, you should definitely offer data structures and algorithm and in any one of the preferred languages. And I would also prefer you to go with C++. It's easy to learn and you will get grasps very soon. And once you completed data structure and algorithm, you can then move to competitive programming. Now let's talk about data structures and algorithms. You can just click on it and go through the course material what they provide. They also give one-to-one doubt solving sessions. I personally opted this course myself, and it helped me to crack 3 companies, and currently I am in a product based company. We get to solve many of the questions that occurs in FANG interviews and FANG rounds. So FANG means Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, and you also get to solve 300 plus coding questions, so that complete data structures and algorithm, you get to understand complete concepts of data structures and algorithm. So you can go with their few plans as listed. I would suggest again you to go with the standard plan, which includes data structures and algorithm once you clear the basics of C++. And since it's an early bird period, so you will get an discount of 30%. And once you proceed to checkout, you will see 30% discount on the course. And once and when you click on our link that is in the description box below, you will get an additional 15% off on this course. So a total of 45% discount on this course. Likewise, you can use our link on any of the course to get an additional 15% off across the Coding Ninjas. So when you click on the link, you will land up on this page and you need to log in first, and then you need to fill your remaining details. As you can see at the end, you will receive 15% discount on whichever course you are going to opt.
तो गाइज ये कोर्सेज पे अभी 30% ऑफ मिल रहा है बिकॉज देयर इज अ सेल गोइंग ऑन एंड एडिशनली अगर आपको 15% और ऑफ चाहिए जो कि आपको लेना ही चाहिए वो लेने के लिए यू विल हैव टू क्लिक ऑन द लिंक जो हमने डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में अटैच किया है एंड सिलेक्ट द कोर्स व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू गेट अ overall 45% off.
Also, detailed registration and about all the courses on the Coding Ninjas का हमने separate video बना के रखा है, उसकी link ऊपर flash हो रही होगी. So you can also go and check it out. So let's move on to the interview experience then.
But it's also heavily dependent on your resume. So they discuss projects that you've specified in your resume. They ask you a little bit about it, and and one or maybe 2 data structure algorithm questions. Then in the second round, it's again a resume discussion, and followed by system design, some basic system design for freshers, and maybe one data DSA question. Maybe that's a maybe. And the third one is sort of like a DevOps kind of a thing, DevOps round. It's usually with someone, with a person higher on the hierarchy, with some manager or some engineering director or something. And it's mostly about the technologies you've used in your resume, in your projects that you've specified in your resume. And they also see if you're a culture fit. If you join Grofers, they do look at your personality, your way of speaking and stuff, just some basic culture fit techniques that are needed, so that they can hire you further.
So anyone applying should keep in mind that they should brush up their knowledge on basic concepts of DevOps and system design.
Right. Yeah. Basic concepts of system design. Yes. Like RDBMS, SQL stuff. that does matter a little bit, but very basic though. For freshers, it's quite basic.
In any of your round, were you told to write a code, hard code, and then run it and show it?
Not run it. So they usually have it on like Google Docs or some shareable doc, and you write your code, you type it out there, and then you do a dry run. So a dry run is like you just have some inputs and you just try to calculate, try to create a output based on your written code, but you don't run the code on a system or a software.
So it was in your DSA round, right?
So that was the first DSA round. I had one question. I wrote the code for it, and we did a dry run. Yeah, that was the first round. The second round was a system design. They gave me like based on my project only. They gave me a scenario, and they asked me to design a database architecture for this. Asked me a couple of questions, and then depending on the interviewer, they do ask you some more questions after that, a little bit about supply chain, maybe, if you know a little bit about it, just in general, to get a knowledge, get an understanding of your knowledge on these basic things. Yeah.
So, since your selection was solely based on your resume, if you could like give a few pointers as to how to make your resume stand out.
Right. So the first thing that matters in your resume is some sort of an internship that you've done. Okay. And the internship should definitely be more aligned with good technologies that are being used by many companies. So there is a big difference between an internship from a service based company, IT service, like IT service company, and a internship from a product based company, right? There's a day and night difference actually. So I would say if you have a good internship done in any good startup companies, product based startup companies, that'll be very helpful. One or maybe two internship is good enough. Other than your internship, obviously your projects that you have in your resume, they shouldn't reflect a project that you performed while learning some course on Udemy or something. So when you're learning a course, they make you do a project, right? But that is the code and everything is already given. The course instructor tells you to write the code. They show you a lot of the stuff. So your imagination, your creativity, your intellect, nothing is used, not at that level at least. So it matters what type of projects you've worked on, like how unique they are, what type of technologies you've used in those projects. That matter a lot. That do matter a lot. So I would say, have a good internship in a good company during your first 3 years of college. Try to get into a good product based company. At least I would say that. Even if it's a very small startup, it's fine. But good internship matters. Secondly, whatever projects you're working on, make sure those projects have some meaning, some value, like creating a ML model, image recognition model is very common these days, right? Like lots of people have this on their resume, image recognition for this, that model training projects. They are very common these days. But if you have something unique, just a unique idea, a mobile app or a website, even if it's in machine learning or AI, if it's something useful, I'm not saying in terms of starting a company out of it or something, but if the project seems useful, seems interesting to listen to, then it's great to have it in your resume. So a good project, a valuable project, not something you just picked up from a Udemy course or something, something of your own, then a good internship, preferably a product-based company internship. Even if it's a service-based company, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But no matter where you do your internship, try to get the most out of it. And uh, another very big important factor is representing all of this information in your resume. So a lot of people make that mistake, how they represent information about every project, about every internship, right? uh, Keep it short and crisp. Explain about your contributions, exactly what you've done in so and so internship, what technologies you explored in so and so internships. A resume shouldn't have very small space for projects and internships, but more space for education stuff that you've written around. You can keep them all at the bottom corner and stuff, but projects and work experience should be displayed at the top, clearly, with what technologies you have explored, what contributions you made in that company. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Hackathons too, right? You've been
Yeah,
part of
hackathons,
it.
Yeah.
of course. Yes, sorry, I missed that. Yes, hackathons do matter. Good hackathons though. I don't know. I don't think if college hackathons, just like some simple college hackathon matters a lot, but a good level hackathon will do a big difference. Like if you're good, if you're participating in college hackathons, great. But if you're doing it, participating there, then you should definitely participate in some state level hackathons or national level hackathons or international level hackathons too. Even if you lose, it's fine. It doesn't matter if you lose or not. You should definitely state that you were a participant in say Smart India hackathon or whatever Singapore hackathon, international hackathon. You don't need to tell what was your position, if you won or not, but you should definitely explain you participated in this hackathon and what was your project in simple 2 lines. You should explain that. Yeah, last round was though just a simple HR round where they call you, and mostly they just discuss a little bit about how your interviews went, and like if it's, say, if you're on campus candidate, they tell you that we're hiring you for an internship only, and based on your performance we'll offer you a full-time offer. And for some people it's both, like either give you the internship and the full-time offer right away.
Apart from this, I just wanted to ask, like, what are the resources that you would suggest that people should like refer to for preparing for such interviews?
Yeah, so resources, may I would say, yeah, so data structure and algorithm does matter a lot, right? They do heavily ask you questions in DSA. And so one thing I would say is, if you're in your final year of college, you haven't done a lot of DSA, that's fine. First thing you should do is get a premium subscription from LeetCode. That's the first thing you should do. Once you get on LeetCode, you have like different sections where you can explore questions asked by specific companies, like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and all these companies. They have divided sections and stuff. And lots of other startups, Grofers, Flipkart, and all these companies, they do tend to ask questions around the same logic, like graph trees and stuff, no? And they do pick really good questions, meaningful questions that sort of test your intellect in creating a good logic around a problem. So lead code is very important. Lead code is very, very important. Like you need lead code if you want a good product based company kind of interview. Want to crack a good product based company, so get lead code first thing. That's one thing. um, if you want to get an interview in a company, which is also a difficult thing, like you can obviously apply on Angel List and stuff, but if you don't get a call back from there, then LinkedIn is very helpful. So one thing you should also do is get a LinkedIn premium membership. This is what I did. These two things, I bought the premium membership, and reaching out to recruiters on LinkedIn is very, very helpful. Yeah, anybody, and you can reach out to me now. I
Yeah,
can refer you.
Prithvi's LinkedIn will be in the description box below. So feel
Yeah.
free to reach out to him in case you have
If you
any.
are interested in Grofers, you can definitely contact Prithvi. So Prithvi, since you are working there for nearly 8 months, so how is the culture and what work you do there as a software engineer?
Right. So on a basic level, culture is really good. So as I said, the final interview does see a culture fit. Like just having a normal conversation with someone shows you if that person is a culture fit for your company or not. No? So that is also a important part. But I think that's very common for many product companies. There is the final interview with the HR or something usually does go around the being a culture fit, or based on some company principles, company based principles. So some companies have some leadership principles, some companies have a culture principle that they follow. So even at Grofers, there is a culture fit process added at the final interview. So yeah, the culture is good. Everyone is very very helpful. There's a good work life balance, I would say. I start my work at 10. I stop it at 6:30, around 7. Like that's when everybody logs off basically from Slack and all, and they just do they go about doing whatever they have in their life, and they have a good work life balance. Everybody is very very everyone is very well mannered. So far, whatever person I've met with is very good. Has been they've all been working for a long time too. But yeah, everyone is treated fairly and very good. I would say very very good, especially interns. Like when I was an intern, my manager was very cool. He was probably the best manager anyone can ever have. Actually, he taught me and the other intern in my team a lot. So managers do matter a lot in every company because they sort of start your professional career. Honestly speaking, they teach you a lot during an internship, or even if you're a full-time joiner, fresher, and you've never worked in that company, your first manager teaches you a lot. And my manager taught me a lot. So that was very great. So yeah, like we have so many managers. Every manager in all the team is very helpful to their interns. So this is the culture part. Work is also good. Lots of amazing technologies I'm able to explore, like Kubernetes, AWS, Redis, Postgres SQL databases, and there's a little bit of data science ML that people are doing that I just keep checking on. I mean, I got to understand how many services just a small team uses. Like even at Grofers, we have many teams, and every team sort of works on their own. They uses services whatever they want, and even for the smallest things like detecting a bug in a code, even for those small things, raising alerts, and all of these tiny little things that create a good company, they are using services. They're using good services. They have actually built lots of internal tools to track lots of systems and orders and stuff. So yeah, like the technology stack is really good at Grofers. Like so far that I've explored, it's great.
So
And
these
the culture.
technologies that you mentioned, would you suggest people applying should already be familiar with those,
Yeah.
or?
Some of them, yes, it would be helpful if you are. But see, when you're an intern, the meaning of the internship is that you will be learning a lot, right? So, like for me, example, I wasn't familiar with like Kubernetes, or I wasn't heavily familiar with AWS. I wasn't, but I was hired as an intern. And the thing is, I was hired as an intern. That's why it didn't matter as much. But if you do know about those technologies, then great, right? You'll get a full-time offer definitely. Even if you don't have to worry, because you're being hired as a fresher. The meaning of a fresher is that you have a good knowledge of technologies, computer science, but it may or may not be in line with what's being used in the company. So that's fine. What they do look for is that your interest in computer, in technologies in general, and if you're interested in exploring new tech, or you have creativity, if you're willing to start something new on your own, even if you have a small organization in college, that matters a lot. Like if you have that, like great, you will definitely be taken. Your interview will your resume will be selected. Like if you start some organization in college for developers, programmers and stuff, and you explore new technologies, you build apps or websites for your university, do mention that properly in your resume. Because when the recruiters, at least for Grofers, I know when they look at the resume, they do look at your willingness to start something of your own, even if it's a small organization or a team of developers in your college, working on something cool. So yeah, so like it doesn't matter so much if the technologies that the company is using isn't something you've explored a lot. It's fine if you haven't.
So, Prithvi, how exactly are you so, well updated as to what is the recruitment process for freshers and everything?
Right. Yeah. During my internship, like a little bit towards the end in the month of May or so, I even got to interview a couple of candidates for the first round, only for the first round. Uh, so yeah, like I was in this specific channel and all on Slack, right? So I was in contact with the recruiter. I mean, I know through my recruiter as well what type of candidates they want, because my recruiter used to tell me ki you can refer folks from your university, and I did that for lots of folks. I referred them. So before like referring, I would ask them ki what type of resumes are you looking for. So he would tell me that someone who's willing to start something of their own and etc., and have good internships, experience in internships and stuff. So that's one way I got to know about how what type of resumes they want. And obviously the other thing is, I also interviewed a couple of candidates, right? So I knew the resumes that got selected. I checked out their resumes, and yeah, most of the resumes had internships. Like the candidate had done a good internship in a company, in a good product-based company, very very good. They had good projects too. But yeah, that's how I got to know. So this is also one good thing. Like you have ownership over lots of things at Grofers. Even as an intern, you get to interview lots of candidates for a fresher role. It sounds funny, like yeah, but it's fun. Yeah, you get to
Not
do that.
not many organizations like let you be part of the recruitment so early in your
As
stage.
a fresher, you are not been a part of a recruitment team.
Yeah. As a fresher, I don't know how many companies do that. Maybe they do. I don't know, because Grofers does it. Maybe lots of startups, lots of companies do that. But yeah, like I got to experience this pretty early on. That was really fun. Yeah.
So guys, if you are interested in Grofers, you can contact Prithvi. He can
Yeah.
refer you if your resume is good enough.
Yeah. I'll refer you.
Cool, then I guess we can wrap it up for today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prithvi, for coming in and sharing your experience. It was wonderful interacting with you, and I hope the tips that you gave to our juniors or anyone watching the video, it helps you out to crack the recruitment process for Grofers.
Yep. Thanks for having me
So, guys,
again.
don't forget to like the video if you're still watching and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'll be back next week with another placement interview experience segment for you. Till then, take care and prepare well. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.